Welcome back to another video of Master Math with Ade. So today we'll still be looking at coordinate geometry. So in coordinate geometry, last time we looked at the midpoint between two specific given points. But today we will be looking at the distance between 2 points on the Cartesian plane. So let's get into today's video. So when we're looking at the distance between two given specific points, so we know distance is just the length between two specific points. Now, we have this line over here, which is 1, 2 and 4, 6. So, when we are asked to find the distance, we're supposed to find the length from this point to that point. So, we can label this part as A, and this part would be labeled as B. Now, when we want to find the distance, so we have to know the coordinates of point A and point B. So the coordinates of point A is 1, 2, because 1 is on the x-axis and we always start with the x variable, and 2 is on the y-axis. So second will be the number which is on the y-axis. Then the coordinates of B will be 4, 6. So these are our two variables. Now we will use this formula to find the distance between point A and point B. So we were given the 2 points as A was 1, 2 and B was 4, 6. Now we're now finding the distance between the points. So we know this number 1 here, this is our x1, and we know this is our y1. This is our x2, this is our y2. So the formula for distance between 2 points on the Cartesian plane is given as the square root of x2 minus x1, close your bracket, square root, plus y2 minus y1. You square that 2. You have to find the square root of that whole thing. So that is the formula for finding the distance between those 2 points. So we have our x1 here. So we'll put this one there. The y1, which is 2, would put it there. Would substitute this 4, which is x2 over there. The y2, which is 6 over there. So let's solve this question. So now we'll substitute. So when we find the square root of this whole thing over here, so we're going to say, so our x2 was 4. So you're going to say 4 minus our x1 is 1. So we're going to say 1. And then we're going to square that. And then our y2 was 6 minus our y1 was 2. Because I gave you the coordinates as A was 1, 2, B was 4, 6. So this is our x1. So our x1 is here. This is our y1. So our y1 is there. This is our x2. So our x2 is there, and that's our y2, which is there. Now, when we add these two, 4 minus 1 would give us 3. So square. Plus 6 minus 2 will be 4 square. Then you find the square root of that whole thing there. Then 3 squared is 9 plus 4 squared is 16. Find the square root of 9 plus 16. So we know 9 plus 16 is 25. Then if we find the square root of 25, that would be giving us the number 5. So it will be 5 units. That is the distance between point A and point B. So why we're putting units? Because we haven't been given the specific units. Now distance always has the units. So we know the SI unit for length is the meters. Now here we haven't been given any units. So we just put 5 units. But if we were given centimeters, we would put 5 centimeters. So we're given this question. Find the distance between point A, which is negative 5, 0, and point B, which is negative 7, negative 4. So we want to find the distance between point A and point B. So we're going to use the same formula. So let's try answering it together. So you can pause the video, try answering it yourself to see if you've understood what I have taught you guys, or you can just simply go through it with me together. So let's answer it. So we have A and B. So we know this one is our x1, this y1, this x2, and that will be y2. Now we have our formula also as the square root of x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square that 2. So let's substitute. So when we substitute, it will just be like this. So our our x2 was negative 7. So I can say negative 7 minus our x1 was negative 5. So we'll say minus negative 5. Our y2 was negative 4 minus our y1 was 0. So we're going to square that. And then now we know negative 7 minus negative 5. So these two negative signs are going to give you a positive. So it's the same as saying negative 7 plus 5. So negative 7 plus 5 will give you negative 2. So we're going to square that. And then negative 4 minus 0 is just negative 4. Square that too. So negative 2 squared is 4. Then negative 4 squared is 16. So we're going to find the square root of those two sums. So 4 plus 16 is 20. So now we're going to find the square root of 20. So when you're finding the square root of 20, we're going to use our calculator. So the square root of 20 will give us a decimal number of 4.47213595. So we're going to round this off to two significant figures, depending on what the question asks. If it says round off to 2 decimal places, but I'll be rounding it off to 2 significant figures. So it will be 4.5 units. So that is the distance between the 2 points.